Hey, good morning, and welcome to our new video series, Coffee with Numinus, where we sit down with one of our team members and learn a little bit more about them and the great work they're doing here at Numinus.
All right, guys, so this is our very first installment of Saturday Morning Coffee with Numinus. I'm here with Dillon March, and I'm here with my Amanita Muscaria coffee mug with my pumpkin spice coffee, because I'm that guy. And Dillon, thanks for meeting with me and hanging out this morning.
I definitely think we need a longer elevator ride than 30 seconds, I think. But to sum it up pretty quickly, I lead all of the instructional design work here at Numinus. So creating any course, any kind of training, whether that's online portion of a training, anything over Zoom like handouts. I'm also the LMS administrator for Numinus, looking after our whole training platform, liaising with our amazing organization that runs the platform, D2L. I also help with onboarding with our new staff members, including both facilitators as well as some of our training coordinators too. And also dabble a little bit in graphic design, video editing too, as well as keeping our website up to date. And I also work with accrediting bodies like ASWB and CPA to ensure that our courses meet the criteria to be able to issue continuing education credits to learners after they've completed our courses. So one of the things that I'm working on right now is making sure that our program from the start of the pathway to the end of the pathway aligns with the requirements that certain states have put out, like the state of Oregon, as well as the state of Colorado, have put out some really clear guidelines for what can be constituted as an approved psilocybin-assisted therapy training. So I've gone through and worked with our very expert level facilitators and researchers to ensure that we have all of the necessary requirements for that course. So I just finished that review with our Fundamentals of Psychedelic-Assisted Therapy course. We added an additional 2 modules, made some changes to another module to bring our course up to code, I guess you could say. Some of the really cool changes that we've made to the course is we've added an entire module now on group facilitation. There's not as much research compared to individual therapy as there is for group facilitation, but we really feel strongly that it needs to be an aspect of our Fundamentals of Psychedelic-Assisted Therapy course. So thankfully, we have some really skilled researchers and psychedelic-assisted therapy facilitators on our team at Numinus that helped us put together this module. One of the other modules that we've recently added to the course is one that we put together with the help of an Indigenous knowledge keeper who has lots of experience working with cacao, sacred plant medicine from Central America. So she will lead a 3-hour long experiential medicine session where you get to ingest the cacao and go through kind of the same phases of psychedelic-assisted therapy in alignment with what we teach in the course. So that's a pretty cool addition, I think, to the program. In addition to that, there's also an aspect of the course that allows learners to go through group integration as participants after having done this cacao ceremony. So I think it's a really cool approach that we've taken to be able to not only teach learners about integration and what integration looks like in a group setting, but also to have them experience integration, preparation, and medicine sessions as participants themselves within the confines of this course. And right now I'm also working on doing the same thing for applied psychedelic-assisted therapy and ensuring that it meets the requirements for all of our governing bodies and accrediting bodies. We're going to be changing applied psychedelic-assisted therapy from 6 weeks to 8 weeks. And with that, we're going to be adding some extra complex cases, because that's really our main focus for applied psychedelic-assisted therapy, is to ensure that learners leave the course having had a really good kind of comprehensive understanding of how they can apply what they've learned in fundamentals and previous courses to the various complex cases that might present themselves to them when they're actually in practice as facilitators. Some of the other things that we've added to the applied psychedelic-assisted therapy course is an additional module on eating disorders. There's been a lot more emerging research supporting how psychedelic-assisted therapy can help clients with eating disorders. So we've made that an additional focus of this course.
That's really exciting stuff, isn't it? I mean, all that is really, really neat. And I think the experiential portion of the fundamentals is really cool. I think we should all do a cacao ceremony as a team building exercise.
Absolutely, yeah.
And, integration, I think it's always like at times kind of the most difficult and also the most important of any medicine session. And for the applied courses, I think that's great, adding the eating disorder component. We had a podcast episode recently with our psychedelic therapy frontiers that dove into the upcoming research of eating disorders. And I think, like we've seen with any other psychedelic research, it's just the beginning. And I think we'll see more and more. So I think that's great and really forward thinking that you are, adding that to the applied modules. I think that'll be really cool and really beneficial for our learners.
And I think one of the many things that sets our program apart is that we weave a couple of different aspects throughout the course, throughout the whole program, really. So experiential learning is something that's really important to us as a team. And outside of psychedelics, we've seen the important role that experiential learning can have in a classroom, in a virtual setting too as well. So myself and our director of training, it's really important to us to bring an experiential component to psychedelic-assisted therapy training. And so that's why we have in fundamentals our cacao ceremony, as well. Later in our program, we have our practical applications course, which also will have an experiential component to that as well. And I think that that's something that sets us quite far apart from other providers of training for psychedelic-assisted therapists. On top of that, cultural humility and cultural safety is really important too, and not just important to bring in at the beginning of a program or a pathway, but it's cultural humility and safety is something that should be included in the program throughout the whole pathway. And that's something that we've done with our program, is woven cultural safety and humility specifically from an Indigenous lens throughout the whole pathway. Including through fundamentals. In applied, we have a number of cases that bring that into focus, as well as in practical applications too. And I think that that's also something that sets us quite far apart. On top of the fact that our program is very well based on research, from start of the program to the very end of the program, we draw from current literature and are constantly reviewing our courses to ensure that any new literature, new research is being incorporated to it. So we're not just creating the course and letting it exist, but because the psychedelic field is so there's so much research going on, so active, we have to be on top of that, and we have to ensure that current research is constantly being added and incorporated into our courses. And on top of that, we have an amazing team of teachers, facilitators that teach our courses and our live sessions. For the most part, our courses are team taught, meaning we will typically have 2 instructors, sometimes 1 depending on the module, but 2 instructors typically teaching each module. And with each lesson that you come to, it might be a different team of instructors teaching based on their expertise. And I think that that's a really cool feature of our program, that we have quite a wide range of instructors and teaching staff who bring their very unique experiences, whether that's from the research field, whether that's from their own clinical practice. And we have instructors who've worked with quite a wide range of psychedelic medicines. So I think that we really couldn't have the strong program that we have now without the amazing work of our instructor team. My background mostly has been in like project management, teaching, education, kind of space, instructional design. And I think as an instructional designer, as a project manager, I think I'm really lucky to work at Numinus, a place that's making such a difference in the world and the work that we're doing. And I think that instructional designers are not always so lucky to work on such cool and interesting content that also is actively making such a huge difference in this world. So I feel very privileged as an instructional designer and project manager to be able to work towards such an important mission. And that's my favorite thing about working at Numinus.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dillon. This was really educational for me. Thanks for hanging out this morning. And all y'all, thanks for tuning in with us. You will see Dillon's work all over our training modules and our educational offerings and our website. So Dillon's really doing great things for our team here at Numinus. So thanks for checking in. Thanks, Dillon. I'll talk to you soon.